I, Dimchenkov Anton Olegovich, give my consent for the interview that is about to be conducted with me. I will answer honestly, comprehensively, and openly. I signed a one-year contract in the city of Ussurisk at the Ussurisk selection point. The problem was financial. I accumulated loans amounting to 1 million, and debt collectors wanted to take my mother's apartment. That's essentially why I signed the contract. I was in the 143rd Motorized Rifle Regiment, Sergeyevka, Primorsky Krai, border district. From there, on 2803-24, I was sent to a flight to the territory of Ukraine. Yes, I kind of understood, but not completely. We had propaganda there, everything was like, we are the best tactical guys, everything is great, we advance without losses. But when I arrived on site, I realized that I ended up in a complete mess. They sent us in groups of 18 people without equipment, just along the forest edge. We were being taken apart right before our eyes. Yes, I got wounded the first time. I received category G. My neck was broken, my entire left leg was shattered. I wanted to be discharged, but the unit said, "You're healthy, you're fit, go back to the war." But I got hit a second time, for a different reason. I received 3 million, sent some to my mother for an apartment, and spent 500,000 partying. I'm an enthusiast, using drugs and marijuana. I had my own fields, I went to my fields and collected 9 bags. And on the way out, I was caught by the traffic police. A military case started an investigation on February 26, 1925. In the courtroom, they told me either 15 years, you go to a strict regime, whether you survive or not. As for this article, it's unknown, or you go back to them on a contract. I had until March 25th, 1925. My term ended already at the positions. On March 29th, my command brought me to your guys, because I stayed. One of the 6 from the group who wanted to spend 2 weeks in a burrow, they threw down water and cigarettes. There weren't really any problems with that. But there was fog on the way out at 6 in the morning. The command said, "We will guide you by landmarks, without a bird." And it turns out they just led me around the village and to your fighters. When I realized things were getting serious, I dropped my rifle and helmet. I am very glad that I ended up captured, because if I had retreated, they would have sent me back, and I would have had to endure the same meat grinder. Regarding captivity, they were always trying to scare us. I didn't know that here they treat you like this, like human beings in reality. They gave us food and drink, and they don't bother us. I simply don't want to go back there. Because of the way the command treats us, it's better in captivity, better in captivity. It's just perfect, in my opinion. Because there, everything is at your own expense. To get ready, I spent 50,000 just to buy my own uniform. They give us body armor from the dead and wounded. The weapons are identical. They gave us 7 magazines and 2 grenades. What? Where to? Just like that. We didn't have special equipment, no motorcycle, all at our expense. That is, we ordered humanitarian aid there, bought all of this for us, and brought it over. 2 buggies, 1 Patriot, 1 van. Now yes, in primary they give 2 million for signing a contract, in Moscow 5 million, but you'll leave all that money here, just simply. Or your own command will take them from you, as it was in 3.94, when I was on my first deployment, so to speak. The commander of the convicts comes up. We need 7 vans. Everyone hands over their cards to this commander and they collect for these 7 vans. Roughly speaking, 5 to 6 million doto in rubles. The humanitarian aid, as they say, doesn't reach us. Well, we had guns, that is, the ones that our local population from Russia provides. Yes, guns, we saw them, sort of, but everything else was with our own money. Well, that was now in the 143rd when I was there. But when I was in the 394th, they issued good body armor from humanitarian aid and for the shooter. Only the body armor is good. The rifles are from the 200s, 300s, all are worn out. Honestly, our supply situation is it's all sadly coming to an end. If I saw tanks and BMPs in the 394th and the 143rd, you didn't see anything at all. one Ural, and even that one we borrowed from the neighbors to go pick up people in Yurievka, for example, those who arrive, so we could pick them up and bring them to the base camp. Well, of course there was some belittling. Naturally, I am the enemy, but no one touched me. They fed me, gave me a drink, and even a cigarette. I was even surprised, to be honest. Even the intimidation about foam in the butt, a hot poker, cutting off genitals, I hadn't even heard of such things. They said, "You're up for exchange, everything will be fine, don't panic." I was even honestly surprised and touched, and I felt ashamed for my country directly. Because your fighters showed me videos of how ours treat yours. What is this? Well, it's like night and day, simply. It's horrifying. It's inhumane, first and foremost. Yes, because they will send me back. I'm intact, that is, it turns out. I have a scrape on my leg, but it's kind of... They will send me back right away. I even want, if possible, to get in touch with my mother, so she can hire some military lawyer for my injury. I don't want to anymore at all. Not to hold a weapon, not to go anywhere, not to listen to anyone. I'd rather go to prison for a long time. I thought that the second time I came here, they would treat me more or less humanely, considering my injury. They would put me somewhere to cook porridge, build bunkers, dig trenches, but that's not the case. In general, they mostly send everyone to the slaughter, because tasks need to be completed. Those who pay money can just sit in the headquarters. Those who give their entire salary contribute a personal contribution. Yes, they sit in the headquarters, they are doing well, but usually a guy like me is just cannon fodder. Approaching, we had to cross another field to reach the position. Your side activated electronic warfare, cutting off communication with command and the drone. No one was watching us, we got confused and they started picking us off in the trenches. Just somehow someone watched over me, covering the burrow where I hid. I stayed there for 13 days. No, the command was to retreat, so I had to... Not through the field we initially entered, but slightly to the right, closer to Novodarovka, to reach our own. I also went through the dam. In the morning I said there, Kuzbas, I see a wrecked BMW. They all said, go straight, everything will be fine, you'll reach the road, then turn right. I reached the road to Kuzbas. I see a wrecked car. Oh, that's right, you're already close. And that's it. I passed the wrecked car, reached the dam, and there were your soldiers. At first I didn't realize they were yours. I said, Kuzbas, Kuzbas. They were shooting and they said, Dema, it's all good, they're ours. And when they already told me, boy, you ended up in the wrong place, I surrendered, and that's it. By contract, I'm actually an FPV drone operator. But when I arrived, they told me, buy a drone, or better yet, two. It costs 300, 600,000. Come on, you'll be a drone operator, everything will be fine for you. Well, when the signing bonus is only 500, you have to solve your own problems, which is why I came here. Guys, well, it's really not worth it. Yes, you will get this money, but will you even have time to spend it on something? Think about it, you're still young. You haven't really lived life just like me. I really regret it now. I would like to propose to my fiancée, see my mom. But will I even be able to do that next time ever? While I'm here, I feel more or less like a human being. The relationships are good, but if you arrive and realize there's no chance to fight, it's better to surrender immediately. That's what I think. Because right now, I want to live. I heard about this bot telegram on the radio. It's better to surrender immediately. Take down your commander if he's such a jerk, although that's likely the case. Well, my mom cried hysterically. My grandmother said that, well, I wouldn't survive, I wouldn't make it, I won't succeed. It's sad, to be honest, but for now, I'm 300 bodies away. I already called from Rostov. Roughly speaking, she said, good job, you survived, well done. Ahead are 4, yes, constant assaults, even. I'll tell you this, on May 8th, it was transmitted over the radio. 2 guys had to run from the 21st Red to the 25th Red. There were Ukrainian armed forces soldiers working there, a sniper, a machine gunner. They simply couldn't do it. Then the commander said, "We'll run over you with a tank just like that if you don't complete this task." The guys simply didn't make it. They were taken out. They're KIA. In the 143rd, well, the same. No retreat allowed. Sit and wait. And that's it. Simple blocking detachments. There was a moment. Also, in Staromayorsk, the commander wiped out 70 people. They retreated, the convicts, wounded, some without arms, without legs. He wiped them out too. That night in the forest strip. No step back, they support this theme. By any means, by any methods, capture this territory. Even livestock have it better. At least they are fattened up before death. Half are just sent off. Here he came, for example, the third time. 5 days of preparation, given armor, a rifle, grenades, go and storm. Well, as I said, I'm one of the 6 left. The first time, 18 of us were left. 7 people. That is, about 35 people were left from the company. Roughly speaking, by the end of the second majors, it will continue there. The amounts will increase, the incentives, the basic propaganda on all the streets. Sign a contract for the motherland, I say right away, but it's not worth it. Just all sorts of people, who are given lifetime memberships. Lucky or not, honestly, if he comes back without a leg, but the handsome guy won't return anymore. But that's if you're lucky to come back without a leg. And retreating 5-7 kilometers. Just simply, or your own little bird. For example, he retreated without the team, his own bird spotted him, and worked on him. In case 3, I hear clearly over the radio, it is welcomed by our command. It's easier for them to record him as missing in action, so the country pays the family 15 million. There I think Zelensky and Macron proposed a 30-day ceasefire. The decision there, whether it's about land or not, I don't know further. I pray every night, enough already. Let it end quickly. Stop, at least stop shooting. Stop. Where to? In the center of Russia, it's empty. There are swamps and fields, that's all. No one lives there. Where to? Where to? Why do we need these lands? Who will watch them? Who will take care of it? I personally don't need it. I'm from Primorsky Krai, that's my little country, really. I have China, Korea, Japan, the seas. Yes, that's how it turns out. A takeover. Like, there's the Russian people, they need to be liberated. Well, what is there to liberate? They're just people. They live, by the way, even better than in Russia, in Moscow, for instance. If in Moscow there are only Choks, Uzbeks and Armenians, all sorts of different nationalities, here it seems to me it's mostly Russians. Well, Ukrainians. Nothing is left of the villages that are stormed. Just emptiness. I don't see any point at all. The continuation of all this nonsense needs to be ended as soon as possible. It was the first year, somehow, and I didn't really go into details. Now it's a real war because they say NATO is here, some mercenaries. Well, yes, maybe there are certain Poles. There are only 2 or 3 black people gathered with NATO equipment. No, it's the same as the USSR. Roughly speaking, they gather the same BMPs, the same tanks, it's uniform, just roughly speaking. We're afraid to live with ourselves. Yes, you just have, well, drones. Drones are better. Drones are more advanced. You kind of have it better. We have, roughly speaking, 5, while you have 500. That's it. It's easier for you to send 5 drones instead of 1 soldier, and it's easier for us to send 5 soldiers instead of 1 drone. That's all. Meet, simply meet. It seems to me that our command will always act this way. Why waste artillery shells, a tank, a mortar? If you can send 6 people, they won't reach it anyway. The brave ones will get there, receive an order of courage, a medal, which no one needs. But will they ever leave that position? Someday? Who knows? Baba Yaga will come flying, drop 2 bombs, and that's it. Those soldiers are gone. It's all foolish. Just give all of this back. It seems to me, and to most of our people, only our Volodya, our Putin, needs all of this. I don't know, when a husband in his old age, how old is he? 76 years, he's already an old man. Where is he going? Is the husband trying to make it into history before his death? The people don't need any of this anymore. I live in Primory, and to go to the store to buy, roughly speaking, 2 packs of cigarettes, a bottle of milk, a dozen eggs, I spend 1,500. 1,500 rubles, just like that, and the salary is 50-60. And if it's a rented apartment, that's another 30,000, so how to live? Only data, contracts. Like when I came for the first time, yes, I bought myself an apartment. It became somehow easier for me to live, a bit easier, but still. Not at such a cost. Honestly, I even regretted very much that I earned this apartment at such a cost. The sea, at the moment, in the Primorsky Krai, the sea, my profession, is a marine reef mechanic. Yes, if everything ends now, I'll return home and go to work at sea. I just had to leave now to avoid going to prison for a very long time. If I had stayed, whether I would be alive in that prison is unknown. Honestly, I see it this way because they will shake hands. Volodya will not give these territories to anyone. I don't know, construction will just begin on what we destroyed. Simply sending our troops to help, to rebuild, clear out, carry out the dead, search for the dead who are lying there under the rubble. It's still unknown how many are there. This is my specific opinion. I wish they would give up these territories. But they are not needed by us personally. Not by me. I thought so. If it comes to going there, either I or... Purposefully, no. Never reached any of your positions at all. Didn't break my neck on the old Mayorsk Ancient. I sat until May 9, rolled, and now reached our infantry. Immediately. I only saw SSU fighters when I was captured. The same kind of people. Yes, a complete genocide of the people. More than 1 million have already died, 1 million confirmed, and how many are lying there? How many have rotted, bones not bones, under the rubble, in this burned out equipment? Initially, it turns out, in 2022, my friend got out, but he was given a sentence. A sentence, just long sentences, even for going out with a little sign, no to war, bam, and you're immediately in a police van. In the detention center, you're a traitor to the motherland, and you sit in prison, and you have nothing to do with the special military operation. They can easily conduct another wave of mobilization. And it will be just the elderly going, mainly the elderly, roughly speaking, the same uncle who was a serviceman. He will also be shoved in and sent here. Yes, they don't spare my generation at all, by the way. We're always 200, everywhere 200. He's sitting at home, and it's 200 for him. The salary drops before the KPI 200 salary. I don't feel sorry for them at all. I had, in my group, it turns out, my run, he has 18 concussions from 2022. His whole belly is stitched up, colleagues, and thanks to you, colleagues, and we are just as right for Grief Mamul, I am alive and well. They treat me well, don't worry. Lily, say hello too, that everything is fine, just well. Everything is fine, wait for me, I might come soon. I love you. We are fed 3 times a day. You wash, you bathe, everything is perfect. Perfect, yes? Because they show how your fighters return from us as emaciated, severely weakened, utterly exhausted, and completely drained. I don't know, in our prisons there's nothing like that even. I just think it's a special kind of mockery. Here they are, they did something, they didn't surrender. Damn, well, treat them according to the convention. He's just a person. He doesn't have a weapon in his hands. He's not being rude to you, not calling you an enemy. He just wants to go home to his family.